So I'm being called up to the conference room. I don't know what this is in regards to, but I am going to record. Hey, Jeff, she asked me to go upstairs. I'm going to go meet with Morgan real quick. I'll be back.
Wrenches?
Did you say wrenches or wenches?
Even worse. Even worse than the first one. One more time? Repeat that.
Repeat that for me one more time.
It's for the boat trailer.
Oh, Lord.
Do you mind if I go handle this real quick?
Yeah.
I know.
A boat trailer?
I don't think we have any parts for boat trailers.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. My assumption is you're probably talking about a winch for the boat trailer.
Mhm.
A crank up winch, which I highly doubt that you guys do. The
We
big
get them
ones.
in.
Huh?
We get them in from time to time.
Do you? Okay. I was over in the boat section. I didn't see any.
I didn't see any either, but we have gotten them in.
Okay, that's fair. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello, hello. Okay, so let's kind of dive into this whole thing. So there's tension, and it's noticed, it's noticed. I'm just trying to figure it out. It's not so much just me that has picked up on it a little bit. Like, I can't say that I've noticed a ton of it with you two, but I don't want to say tension, but I want to say there's definitely something, and I'm trying to figure out what it is exactly. But it's definitely been brought to my attention from other people as well, and definitely. So I'm just trying to figure it out. And then, I know there was a conversation, me and Morgan were having a conversation about a conversation that happened yesterday. I know that conversation had also kind of branched off from another conversation involving Brian and his training and so forth beforehand too as well. So I guess I kind of know where you're at on it. I need to know where you're at on this. Like, what's the thought process so I can kind of gauge this a little better, because
I have no idea what's going on. I just
fair. No, it's okay.
I just know that I came up with her and Joe, and I had another person on my team, which is awesome because I was gonna have some backup.
Yeah.
And I talked to her about his training because it's not just sitting at the design center. There's also the service side of things,
Sure.
and that's what was talked about yesterday.
Yeah.
So it's like it's not just design center. There's things that pop off in service that they just happen.
Yeah, I agree. So, I mean, I like hearing things to know what like people's perspective is on it, because I can usually steal some ideas or modify them a little bit, kind of help them make them. So what are your thoughts right now, so I have some better understanding? Like, what are your thoughts of the whole thing is a lack? Is there something missing? Is there something you just don't feel it's laying upright? Like, what?
It's
Where's
just
your head at?
making sure that he's trained properly.
Sure.
When I came into the position, I didn't have anyone. I
Yeah.
had no one. I had to learn everything on my own, and I wanted to save him a little bit of that.
Yeah.
Now she's taking over on the training. What's weird to me is I just said, why doesn't he shadow for a day? She says no, because he's gonna lose out on sales. But on the flip side of that, this poor guy's gonna lose out on sales if he doesn't know what all is available.
Well, and when we discussed that, you kind of got upset and didn't let me continue. You kind of walked away from the
Well,
conversation.
actually, you walked away from me when I went outside to talk to you, because I did try talking to you, and it was hot, but it was too hot for you. You dismissed me and you walked away from me and you came in the store. You just shut me down. I tried talking to you outside yesterday, earlier in the
I
day,
don't feel like that's how it went. We both walked in at the same time and were talking.
because you ended the conversation and you went inside the store. You said it's too hot for this, and you just didn't talk anymore about it.
I just stated that it was hot outside.
But
It
you shut
wasn't.
down the conversation.
Well, I'm sorry.
So you feel like you got shut
I got
down?
dismissed. It was just
Sure,
dismissed.
I mean, people can definitely catch feeling, I agree, I understand, trust me, I'm with you, I can feel that way sometimes too.
Like, I was just trying to just bring something. I didn't put it on the floor.
Sure.
No spectacles or anything. Just took it outside. Yeah, was it hot?
Sorry,
Yeah,
I have a
it
customer on the
was.
phone
Yeah.
asking about a brake controller.
Service?
Could you please take a message for us and we'll get back to him in just a minute?
Yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am.
Can I ask a question? Why, again, I got two people here from this side of the store, so we'll pause that and go to this. Why do the radio thing every time? Why not just patch it through to someone in the retail sales department?
Well, so Lisa's over there, but she's. Okay.
I'm just asking. I'm not saying it like a suggestive manner, I'm just like, wait, wouldn't that make more sense? That seems really annoying. Isn't that annoying? Having someone be like, hey, there's someone on the phone for this, like, here, oh, you want
Sometimes-
retail sales, let me get you over to them. I don't know, I just was wondering. Okay, fun fact.
We talked about too, having them screen a little bit better.
Oh,
calls.
fair enough. Okay, cool. Then she's doing exactly that. I like it. So, okay, now let me ask this question. Has there ever been other discussions based on this whole training idea with Brian?
Earlier in the month, I was told I didn't know anything about his training. Nothing's been discussed. I'm not a manager. That's not really my business. I just want to make sure that he's gonna be prepared.
Sure.
He told me how he was stuck here until like 8 o'clock the other night or something. I said, and sometimes that happens, dude. I said, things come up. It's just the nature of the business.
Yeah.
I was like, but I'm still cleaning up S&I, and I'm the only one who maintains it, and I'm going through some of the things. And I went through some of his work orders,
Mhm.
because I always wish someone had done that for me. Just to know I knew I was on the right track.
Sure.
And I was like, I don't mean to overstep my bounds. He's like, no, thank you. So I make notes,
Yeah.
telling him how to make adjustments.
Because you've done it. So you know a little better.
But there's just still some errors that when she writes an estimate that are errors. Putting stuff, ordering from E-Trailer, when we sell, they hit sheared. So there's stuff she still has to learn. And this is a process. It's just a continuing process. You're always learning.
Mm-hmm.
You're never gonna know everything because stuff's always changing. And right now, I think Deptford's like condensing a lot of their products that's older, packaging everything in one thing. And you'll be seeing that here shortly. I've already seen it in the parts. But it's just stuff that's always changing.
Yeah. So the thing that I just want to make sure that we all are on the same page, right? That's my number one job, is making sure these departments function, as a unit, and then as a
There's
store.
really no clear outline. I have no idea what's going on.
I know, I'm sensing that. My thing is I just wanna make sure that, so here's what happens in the world of just management in general, right? Just as us as humans in society, I find that even if there's not an outlier of exactly what is what, and no matter what it is, whether it's the law, whether it's in a restaurant, whether it's in a shopping mall, we all know that there's certain people that have certain roles and we have to respect those certain roles. It's kind of like when a cop pulls you over, you know that you cannot be belligerent and rude to them because they do have a sense of authority, and that's the way that we have to be as civilized humans. So I just want to make sure that everybody understands that as a team, I think you guys should have these conversations, most definitely, because communication is absolutely key to run a team smoothly and effectively. But I also want to make sure, just so everybody's aware of that there are certain positions that there has to be a sense of equality and respect for those positions. So I just want to make sure, I definitely like where your head's at, because if there's things that are missing and you can help her, people help me all the time. Whether or not I'm the GM of this dealership, I'm going to ask you stuff because I don't know it.
I want us all to succeed.
Yeah.
Ultimately.
Yeah.
And that's
So,
where I'm at. I want
Yeah.
everyone to succeed, and you know that already.
Of course.
but do me a favor, and I'd say the same for everybody in the room. Make sure that the way that we address each other and how we have those conversations is with the utmost level of respect, because tones can alter a whole conversation, whether or not you're meaning to or not meaning to. Myself, I'm very guilty of it in my life, so I've had to try to adjust it as much as I can to not be such a drill instructor, because that's what I'm used to being. And sometimes I can speak very bluntly and directly, and it can come off the wrong way. And it's not that I'm trying to say it that way, but I'd rather just put it out there and have it be honest. So I try to live by the not what you say, it's how you say it type of situation, and being a little bit more
I have a customer that's coming
So,
up here in
I
about
think
10
that's a
minutes
good
to get
takeaway
one
from
of
the
those
conversation.
champion generators up
You
here
said it's
front.
hot. The way you may have said it,
Yeah.
definitely might have made him feel like, what the
I'm
hell?
sorry.
You know what I'm saying? And I agree with you because I've been in that same situation. I'm like, well, okay, all right, I guess we're done with the conversation. And again, not saying you did or didn't, but maybe it's a tone, so we can do a little takeaway from that conversation. The conversation with you talking about the training, we just have to make sure that you're aware that is the manager. What she feels, and this is why I say this, what she feels is best for every employee to do and how they do it is on her. If it's not getting done right and there's a bunch of problems, it is her that is held accountable. She'll have to address that. She'll have to answer to that. But that being said, as a team, you guys should have those communications because I do think they're very good. Just make sure that you both are doing it in a manner of respect. Making sure if you're bringing an opinion to the table, say it in a way that's an opinion based, not so much as you're doing it wrong or you're doing it right. Not saying you did, but just to make sure, just try to be cognitive of that because it can sometimes making a suggestion to people depending on that moment of either being frustrated or maybe seeing a situation from your vision and not theirs. You sometimes can feel a certain way. Just try to remove the emotion out of it and just keep right to the facts. And I think you guys will be in a way better position because right now there's definitely a little bit of tension there when it comes to certain things. Walk away, you can't do that. You know what I'm saying? The dismissing, you can't do that. Like there's things you just can't do because it has to be respectful at all times. So alls I care is that you two figure it out and just making sure that it's done correctly. Obviously you respect her position and title as much as you respect his opinion and his knowledge. And if he can help, I love it. I think it's great because there's things I need help with and I've asked you to help me. So that's cool. I'm definitely down for that. But let's just make sure that we understand there's a hierarchy. Hate to say it, like nobody really wants to hear that, but there is a hierarchy, so we do have to have that respect in this building. That is my most important thing. And then again, you and I have talked about it, team. Gotta have a team. People have to respect each other because if you don't, you will not have a team. Your team will not succeed. It'll fail every time.
And in regards to the training for Brian, I think I might have said it the wrong way when we were talking about it, saying it wasn't beneficial for him to be a shadow for a day. I do believe that it's beneficial for us to teach him the things that he needs to know, and I definitely need your help with teaching him what he needs to know because there are things, like you just said earlier, that I still don't know.
I told you about a customer yesterday. It was something bizarre. Something with Logan leaving bolts in a hitch. A customer's hitch was destroyed. I was trying to find a way to remedy it as quickly as possible without spending a lot of money because now that's coming out of our inventory.
Right.
And I mean, that's stuff that I care about.
I know you do, and I appreciate you for that, but my thing is with the training, like while I agree that it's important for us to take him and show him the things that he doesn't know yet, I just don't know how necessary it is for him to be your shadow for the entire day. So what I'm saying is that if situations come up, like say you're about to start the outs list, or somebody comes up and needs something from service, get on the walkie-talkie, call him over, we'll teach him,
Yeah,
and then
intermittence.
yeah.
I got sent to Jacksonville for a week.
Yeah, he's going out. The only reason, so her and I have had conversations about that. I mean, that's really, I mean, it's a manager thing, but I don't care. Like I said, I'll put everything out there. We all know that. I'm very blunt, I'm very honest. So yeah, no, her and I have had that conversation. The plan is he's gonna go to Concord, work with my old team in Concord because they're very good at what they do. They run a really good number pattern. So they really have made a pretty good ease of the order process. What we wanted to do after talking with Brian a little bit more is making sure that he was familiarized with our system more in depth. So when he goes up there, they're not trying to just show him the order process, but he knows how to work that system. So that way, while he's doing it, he's not trying to learn the entirety of the order process, just the part that's gonna make it easier and more effective for us. Very fun. So I definitely think that training will help substantially, because it doesn't do us any benefit to have him in that role if you're still doing a lot of the stuff because he doesn't know how to do it, or her doing a lot of stuff because he doesn't know how to do it. That's his role.
Right now, I'm doing my position and going behind her and going behind him.
Yeah, so I
I'm
think
being a team
that,
player about the whole thing. I haven't
Sure.
gotten upset or nothing like that. It's to be expected because
Sure.
again, this is still a learning process. I don't know everything 100%, but I just want to make sure that he's going to be prepared.
yeah, and I think the care is great. I really do. I think it's awesome. Like, I think that that shows good integrity and being caring about what you're doing. We lack that. Just be careful with the delivery. And this is just person to person talking. Sometimes, because I'm very passionate, that's a word that like Tammy will use for me, because I am aggressive, but I'm passionate. It's because I give a shit. I don't think there's anyone in this building that can honestly say that I'm probably not the type that doesn't give a shit about the store. I love this store. I want to see it succeed. So there are times though when I get very passionate with my teams because I care that much. And then I sit back and go, all right, that came out a little rough. So just be careful with your passion. And you,
Actually, I would like to bring something up that happened last week.
okay.
You guys were taking care of some of the clearance items in the back. You didn't say more than 3 words to me that day, and then at the end of the shift, it was after my shift, you asked if we were okay. I was perplexed. I didn't understand where any of that was coming from. I didn't realize there was an issue.
Is there an underlying issue? I just gotta ask. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I like
that's what I would like to know, because I had no idea where that even came from. I was kind of floored. I was, after my time, I stayed. I was trying to get out of here, and then something happened with the guests, so I was just wrapping up with them before getting out.
Sometimes I tend, and Sean knows this, and I tend to overthink things.
Oh, dude, she's hyper analytical.
And so I just wanted to make sure that everything was okay. You seemed a little frustrated, and I wanted to make sure that you were okay, that everything was fine.
Where I come from, we call those temperature checks. We tend to do that throughout the day, not at the end when everything's already happened.
Was there something wrong?
I ran into a lot of stuff, but I was able to handle it.
But was there something wrong with were you frustrated? Was she
I was slammed. I kept trying to take a break. I didn't get a break that day just because every time I went to walk away, something else kept happening.
So there's some frustrations.
Sometimes, yeah, I really do. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's been an issue with the breaks, and I do try to take them.
Oh, I know you
I
did.
really do. I just sometimes I can't get away.
So making sure, and again, this goes back to us as a team, right? So in those specific situations, you gotta call on her. She can step in. You to make sure that you get the time that you need. As managers, we are prisoners to certain things. Very much so. But that's what she's here for. So those situations like your time, breaks, lunches, those things are very important. They're part of our business, right? They're part of you as stepping away for a second and not wanting to choke somebody because it's been a long first half of the day. So just make sure that when that time comes and stuff, obviously you never want to leave a guest right in the midst of things. Yeah, you never want to leave a guest and just be like, oh, hey, this is Morgan, I'm out, I gotta take my break.
Of
So
course.
I know exactly what you're saying. Like, yeah, you don't want to leave a guest, I get it. Try to find the best way to execute that exit and bring her in to kind of, if you need to step away or you've got a break that you need to take, because it's very, very important that our employees get that time, because sometimes just a little woosah moment. I wish I could do that more often because I want to woosah my ass off, but I don't. So what I would like you two to do, if you would be such a favor to me, is have these conversations more often. Work as a team, because it seems like you have a lot of knowledge to bring to the table. And it seems like you have a lot of knowledge to bring to the table. And the things that you may be missing, you may be able to help with. And the things that you might be missing, she's gonna be able to help with to elevate you to get that next step in this business. She got to where she's at for a reason, just like me. I'll be the first one to admit it. When they suggested for me to take over a store, even myself was like, there's so much I still have to learn. But my drive is what helps get that there. Her drive is what got her into this position. Her drive, organization, she knows how to execute on things, which is great. There's still plenty of things that she's gotta learn, and there's still things that you know that could help her, and vice versa. Because I think you obviously wanna come up, you wanna move up, right? To my understanding.
I don't know.
No, not yet, okay, fair enough.
Just saying, I don't know.
Yeah.
I've been a manager. I've done it.
Yeah,
Ran a baseball stadium. I think I shared a little bit with you about that.
yeah, so you don't know if it's a step you wanna take. Fair enough.
Kind of like doing what I do now. I troubleshoot and
Yeah. So in that case, I mean, whatever you want to do with it, I support and will help along the way. I think if you're looking for not the growth of the position, but like the ease of maybe not doing 3 jobs at one time because you just want to focus on yours, I agree. You just need to share that stuff with her so she can create a plan to remove that excess stress off of you. or not even stress, because you obviously seem to handle that really well, but you know what I'm saying, the access annoyance, because you're like, all right, I'm doing mine, plus a little bit of theirs, plus a little bit of theirs, that's not a big deal, I don't mind, but doing mine plus theirs and theirs at the same time, that could be a little much. So let's work on that. We'll work on just designating that workload a little bit better.
And I do want you to help with Brian's training, for sure. And teach him the things that he needs to know that he doesn't know. I need your help with that.
Yeah, I think it'd be great. I just think you guys need to designate the time better. I think that's where the miscommunication, just from outside perspective, I think you're passionate about getting him up to speed, so you guys can kind of tag team that whole department really up those numbers. I think it would be great, because I know you have a lot of knowledge. He's got good knowledge about the campers and such, and he's very good with customers as much as you are. I think you guys would be a really strong team. That's why we had this whole idea from the get-go. I definitely think that right now you just feel as though you're doing a lot more work than you should be, and that maybe he doesn't quite have the focus he should to get him to that level yet. And
No, I just feel I'm not being respected for what I do bring to the table, what I am doing.
Sure.
Like being walked away from, that was total, I don't know, I was dismissed.
And I'm sorry.
I
It
get
wasn't
that.
my intention to do
It's
that.
like you're telling us to have these conversations, and we try to have these conversations, so, and that's
So-
what happens.
Let's work on better then. I mean, that's all we can do. Every day we come to work, every day we wake up and put our feet, slip out of bed and step down on the ground, man. I mean, A, it's a blessing, and B, it's a learning experience. We always try to find something different. I mean, I constantly try to do that with myself. Always try to just be better the next day, or fix something that I didn't quite do right the day before. That's humans. We're humans. We all make mistakes, and we all learn from them. It's when you stop learning from them that you have a problem in life.
Definitely.
So I think that in this particular situation, I think you seem like you're fine. I think it's just one of those things where communication is definitely lacking. And you guys should probably step that up and be willing to hear each other out no matter what the situation may be, or the comfort level at that situation. Because that is where you find most people being guilty of, is that the comfort of the situation is where it's a challenge. It's when you're in the height of that stressed out times or moments and people want to have a conversation, and you often want to dismiss it because your head is somewhere else, but you can't. You gotta box that shit up for a second, skip it to the side, and bring you to the front of the table to have that conversation. So I think we can all improve on that.
I'm
Do you
definitely,
agree?
I know I can.
Okay. And now, and you will agree as well, just if she's talking to you about something, if you're feeling passionate or frustrated, let's try to box it up and hear each other out respectfully, so that way we can stay on the even playing field.
Yeah, that's what I've been asking for.
I like that.
Exactly, even playing field.
I like that. But yet you still respect that's the manager, right?
I haven't done anything to disrespect
I
that.
didn't think so either. Just double check. I always gotta ask. Trust me, I have to have that same conversation with all my managers downstairs when we have conversations, because they feel passionate about the way they think something should go, and I respect it. But there are processes that I will not change, because I know how well they work. So, so I can agree. I get where you're coming from on that. So that's cool. All right, I like it. Yeah, so just work on that. Just work on the conversation more. And I think across the board, the takeaway from him is that if it's happening with one, it might be happening with more. Maybe. So maybe have those conversations more openly with other people too, just to
I
make
had a
sure.
conversation with you this Sunday, telling you that the staff was frustrated.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
did tell you that, so, and
Cool.
also told about the thing. There's a rumor started by another employee because the lights were off in here, and it's not right to have a conversation with another employee apparently.
The lights are off.
Yeah, with you and Justine and Joe, I don't know, something.
We don't understand.
Last week, Belinda was creating a stir about Justine being up here alone with you and Joe in the dark. It didn't look right. I told
Oh.
her that was not
No,
really something.
we had the lights off because we didn't wanna highlight that conversation with everybody.
You don't need to explain anything. I just told her she shouldn't.
Oh, yeah.
That's
No,
not
I
something that should be
have,
spread,
no.
and if she felt like that, she should talk to
Oh, yeah, no, that's
Morgan or
total.
somebody, honestly.
Yeah. No, and I love hearing that stuff. I don't mind, because I have no problem addressing those issues with people if they have questions. I mean, I had the same similar conversations with the lights off with all 6 candidates that interviewed for the position that she wanted. Had the same thing. So I think it's just what people see as perception is reality to most. That's all. You'll see that happen.
Yeah. But we do talk.
Cool. I like it.
Anything else, kids?
No, I'm saying that. Just figured we'd address this, get this thing out of the way, making sure people understand that, we just gotta watch each other's backs and take care of each other. We're here together. We're in this thing, so we just gotta make it work. Just wanna make sure everyone's on the same page. I wanna make sure you're heard. I wanna make sure she's heard. I just wanna make sure everyone's heard, so that way just hearing things, we can fix things. That's the only way you know about it, is if you talk about it, so.
And my plan is to try to be better with communication, and again, I'm sorry, I did not mean to make you feel like I cut you off.
I do talk to you, I do tell you things that are
I know.
going on. I
I know.
do bring things to your attention, because as a manager, I always wish someone would do that for me, because I can't be everywhere at the same time.
Right.
And I understand that, I've been in your shoes. That's why I'm hesitant, I don't know if I wanna go back. I
Right.
was in my 20s and 30s, I worked 30 hours a day.
It's not, let me tell you, it's not fun. It has its moments.
I know, I've been there.
Cool.
We can come up with a way to get Brian the knowledge that he needs. You and I can sit down with him, we can all sit down and talk about what we think would be best for his training while he's in the store. And then, of course, we're gonna send him to Concord.
Mhm. And if it's
But
Concord's too far, we can send him to Charles, I mean, wherever, you know, whatever's gonna benefit him to help this team move along. What makes great managers is having great people around them. That's what makes great managers, that's what makes everything flow together, and I don't care if anybody says, like, you can be the best manager in the world, or have the most knowledge, but trying to do it all yourself is impossible. The key to management is delegation. Delegation is everything. If you can't delegate and trust the people around you, then you have to change the people around you, to be quite honest.
Actually,
And
yeah.
that was,
That's right.
that is why the store changed so much, and I moved, and I made the changes that I made to it, because the facts are is that, you know, you can try to get people, you can lead them to water and see if they'll drink, but at the end of the day, if they don't drink, they don't drink. You gotta figure it out, so. I think you definitely have somebody who wants to drink and wants to be led, so I love that, I think it's huge, so I think it's a big benefit, I think it's just a situation of that communication, so. I feel good about it, I think we'll be fine. I think it just needed to be brought way out in the open and be done with it, in my opinion. Everybody tries to be like real easy about stuff. No,
No,
sometimes
rip
you
off
just
the
gotta,
Band-Aid.
yeah, just
Yeah.
yank it and go. So cool, alright, well, I like this, this went a lot better, I was hoping that there wouldn't be any like gouging or eye poking, so that worked out.
No, it's not my
No.
style, man. I'm a lover, not a fighter.
I will tell you. I like it, sweet, thank you, I appreciate you every time. Uh-huh.
Well,
I hate
we're starting to miss.
Yeah.